Good evening, folks. This is Deb Delapiana, and this is your short take. So, a couple days ago, Mitch McConnell announced that, he's going to step down from his leadership position in the Senate. And he cited a number of factors. Of course, father time is not being good to him, blah, 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 whatever. He will step down from his leadership role in the Senate, but he is in the Senate until 2026. His seat is not up for re-election in 2024, okay? But, as always, when, somebody announces something like this, and it's kind of a big thing because he's been in this position for a long time, just like Nancy Pelosi, was in her position for a long time before she stepped down in the House, okay? But what we start to see now, terms being used to describe Mitch McConnell, who, by the way, I actually refer to quite frequently as Bitch McCon Man, about his great statesmanship. Listen to me, folks. There are two things that Mitch McConnell has done that should be his defining legacy. And I say this because I've been looking at Mitch McConnell for a long time. I've been doing this for a long time, what I'm doing. And I've been watching Mitch McConnell for a long time, and he has done a number of really shitty and scummy things in his tenure, and he has stood in the way of progress many times in the Senate. But there are two things that he did that will forever define him, at least from my perspective. So first, and I'm sure this is because, honestly, I believe that the GOP was totally disenchanted with the fact that we had our first Black president in Barack Obama, who served 2 terms. I'm sure that was just wadding up all of the underwear in the racist, fascist GOP. They made Barack Obama's life miserable, okay? But with fully nearly a year left in Obama's term, Mitch McConnell refused to even consider a replacement for Antonin Scalia, announcing that it should be up to the new president to pick the Supreme Court justice to replace him. With almost a year left in Obama's term, he literally blocked all consideration of Merrick Garland, who, by the way, was not a far left judge, actually. He was a moderate judge. But we blocked that for nearly a year. And then, we get into the next president, and that is who? Donald Trump. And what did Mitch McConnell do in the Supreme Court? After the death of Ruth Bader Ginsburg, he literally pushed through Amy Coney Barrett's approval for a Supreme Court seat with just, I don't know, a few weeks left in Donald Trump's term. So it's funny how, when it was Barack Obama, we waited 11 months because it should be up to the new president. But when it came to Donald Trump, we didn't wait 11 months so that Joe Biden got to pick. We forced through Amy Coney Barrett. And the reason we did that was because we wanted to overturn Roe, period. So essentially, Mitch McConnell stacked the Supreme Court for decades to come with 3 far-right judges. That, my friends, was a coup right there. All right? The other thing that Mitch McConnell did that, in my mind, we could have been, honestly, at least with some kind of functional government and some kind of protection against fascism, had we gotten rid of Donald Trump in the second impeachment trial. We should have gotten rid of him in the first impeachment trial because actually he was consorting with Russia then, and he was actually extorting Zelensky. Yes, we'll help you with your problem, but only if you find us some dirt on Joe and Hunter Biden. All right? But in the second one, with Mitch McConnell fully agreeing that Donald Trump was responsible for the insurrection, Mitch McConnell voted to acquit Donald Trump. Had that gone differently, we would not be sitting here right now facing the prospect of having a traitor elected president. A traitor. Understand what this guy is. Mitch McConnell isn't a statesman. He's a fixer. He was a fixer for Donald Trump. He is just as criminally responsible for what's happening in this country as Donald Trump is. He stacked the Supreme Court against all norms of the way electing or appointing Supreme Court justices go. He then let a criminal and a traitor, a man who was willing to overthrow this government to retain power, he then voted to acquit him because he was worried about the implications of putting a former president through an impeachment trial. Really? Is that right? He was worried about those implications, and look where we fucking are right now. Don't talk to me about the GOP having any statesman in it. It is full of MAGA brain-dead Republicans who are too afraid of Donald Trump to stand up to him. They are cowards and they are traitors. They are enabling a man who is consorting with Russia to bring our government down. And make no mistake about this, Mitch McConnell knows exactly who Donald Trump is and has known exactly who Donald Trump is from the very goddamn beginning. Don't call Mitch McConnell a statesman, okay? He's not. He's a fixer for Donald Trump. And by the way, let me tell you something. The condition that the GOP is in right now, people, you can be dancing around that Mitch McConnell's not going to be the leader in the Senate. Do you think that they're going to pick anybody better than Leader McConnell? Oh, my friends, you have not been paying attention. I guarantee you, whatever comes after McConnell, it's even fucking worse. We're going to be talking about several things coming up starting this weekend. This is just the beginning. I will talk to you all tomorrow.